can see, the one bay here, there is actually another bay the same size to the left, and they are simply constructed with pallets and baler twine to tie them together, and the plan is to have more of those. And actually this one on the left here is actually not in the best place to access, so once I've dealt with that, I will make this edge the first edge, and then I will be constructing a bay here and then moving along. So I'm probably going to have 3 or 4, but at the moment we've got this in the middle. To the right here we've got the green bin, and to the left we've got a bay that originally looked like this, but I have clearly not been looking after it. So if I just move the camera a little. So the first thing that you will notice is it's absolutely full of potato plants, which was not my intention. So when we first started, put the polytunnel up and started growing here, I started that compost bay. We didn't have the table here, and I hadn't really thought it through as to how close, if I just move you around, to the edge of the polytunnel it is, and it's really not that accessible now. But the biggest mistake that I've made is I've been lazy and I've just thrown things on, including compost that clearly had some potatoes in it, you know, the little tiny ones, from spent compost after growing potatoes. I've been lazy and I haven't looked after it. I've also thrown things on in no particular order. I've emptied out weeds into there without wilting them first, and things that were really a little bit too big, I haven't chopped them down. So the end result after 4 years is I've got lots of potato plants. I can't really get to what's under the potato plants, and it isn't particularly good compost, although I'm sure there will be some at the bottom. So the plan with that, which I'm not going to do today, is that we will take some of the pallet sides down, delve through that, pull any potatoes that are salvageable, and then properly chop that foliage down into little bits and wilt it off. Go through and get any of the compost that can be used as compost, and then the rest of what's on there I will then transfer into this side, but I'll do it in layers and I'll look after it properly. So then moving on now to this one, what I've now started doing, and I had mentioned in a previous video, is I've actually got a plant pot there and a tub. So my big blue truck down here that I tend to do my weeding into, instead of just bringing it full of whatever I've put into it and dumping it, I'm now popping it onto these, and then when I get time, as I am going to today, I'll then go through those and chop them into little bits and spread them more evenly, and also make sure I've got an equal layer of greens and browns. So we're putting on, you know, maybe a small layer of grass clippings, small layer of cardboard that's been ripped up into small pieces, small layer of wilted weeds, anything that I've taken from, so just to the right there you can see in my truck, I'd harvested some vegetables yesterday, and that's the leftover bits that we didn't eat. So the pea shells actually went to the chickens, but bits that they're not going to eat I will chop up smaller and then pop in. I also sometimes put some chicken bedding on there, and we also sometimes have some horse poo or even some hay that they haven't eaten. But what's important going forward, instead of just chucking it on, we also put the ash from the wood burning stove on there too. But it's important that I put it in layers and that I'm not just dumping it there any old way. So today I'm going to chop up what's in here and layer it correctly instead of just chucking it on. So you can see there I've been chopping up what was in the yellow trug and also what's in this pot here, and I'm going to keep doing that, filling up the blue trug and then evenly spreading it in layers onto this compost heap. And I will add in also some more cardboard, chicken manure and so on, and build it up that way. I will also water it regularly, and that is going to eventually make for some much better compost in the long term. So it's all too easy to just throw things onto your compost heap, but if you just take a little bit more time by having a little bit of a system going, it may feel more time consuming at the time, but it's so worth it in the long term to not end up with a big almighty mess on your hands that you've then got to sort out. And you're going to actually reap your rewards more quickly, because well looked after, short chopped down, layered compost heaps will actually produce your compost a lot quicker. Once it's full to the top and I've watered it regularly, I will probably also cover it with a layer of cardboard to also block out the light and help it rot down a little bit more as well.